At the T-minus 3-minute mark, tape recorders on board the spacecraft were turned on. These recorders record both voice and data. We have ignition sequence start. The engine's now building up to 7.7 million pounds of thrust. We have a launch commit and we have a liftoff. Moving back. The Saturn V lifting off with power.
And we are back with Rocket Shop here with Montanha, Verde. Hello, everybody. Can you tell me a little bit about yourselves and kind of what brought you here tonight?
Oh, he's pointing at me.
Yeah.
Hi, well, awesome. We're Montanha Verde. We are a smaller group than Samba Tucata, but playing music of the same origin, roughly, which is Brazil, specifically East Coast Brazil, Northeast Brazil, and yeah, just a little more of that kind of stuff.
We're small, we're nimble, we like to bring the party. We are pretty much all from Samba Tucata. This is just a way for us to explore a wider variety of music that's not always appropriate for a community group. And so, yeah, we just started out as like kind of like a small group of folks from the main band getting together just to practice other material we're interested in, and it turned into kind of a regular thing. And so we decided to just run with it and have fun.
Awesome. Can you play me a song to start?
Yes.
Let's see how that goes.
What if we said no? So it would be over.
Awesome. What was the name of that song?
Well, it's Chimba Loco, and
Chimba
it
Loco.
comes from obviously the word loco and the name Chimbalada. And so Chimbalada is a group from northeast Brazil, and they go back to the 1970s, and it was a group of African Brazilians, and they were inspired by sort of the African music. What's the word? It's like that the group of there's a term for it, but anyway.
Diaspora?
Yeah, exactly. Diaspora. That's why she's here. And so the African music diaspora. And so they actually created a drum that hadn't existed in the Bacteria before, and it was the chimbal. And so obviously you can see it's like a sort of African style hand drum, but it's made more like the Brazilian instrument. So it's tall, made of sheet metal, and it's made to be really loud. And so so that's what the group is. It's a groove that's sort of inspired by their music, and it was originally from a group that I used to play in California when I lived there.
Very cool. So can you guys all, or some of you, maybe tell me about your own music histories and kind of how you came to be playing this kind of music and what inspires you in this kind of genre? Anybody?
I can start. After college, I started playing with a community drumming ensemble. The professor at Dartmouth was leading this community ensemble, invited anybody who wanted to come. Played music from Haiti, from Cuba, from Brazil, from West Africa, and I just got the bug and got hooked and have been studying ever since. Got to travel around the world to study with masters. I just couldn't live without it.
Uh-oh. Does that mean it's my turn next?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have always loved music, but didn't do a darn thing until I got out of college, and I was like, all right, I've got some time. Guess I gotta start actually doing some music. So that's pretty soon after I joined Samba Tucada. And I've been doing that.
Jacob's father is also a fine musician
Yes, he
in the
is.
Burlington scene for many, many, many years.
So I, kind of similar to Keith, I first got started when I was in college. I was studying very responsibly economics, but started taking a bunch of music classes. A friend of mine was in the community group in Arcata in Northern California, Samba de Alegria, and they do a big parade every fall. And so I joined that, and then I started taking classes at the college. I took some classes in community college with an African drumming teacher from Ghana. But then they did Brazilian, and they have one of the largest steel pan groups in the country at a college. They have like 50-some people. It's incredible. And so it was really great. The percussion program was amazing, and the same sort of thing. They brought teachers in from Cuba. They brought teachers in from Brazil. A bunch of students would go do semesters in Trinidad and Tobago, or they would go down to Bahia, they'd go down to Salvador, they'd go down to Rio, and they would learn with the groups down there. And it's really interesting to see how many groups across the country have been influenced by the people that went through that program and played in those groups.
It's the Arcata diaspora.
Yeah, there's a leader in San Diego. One of the folks up in British Columbia used to play there, and so it's kind of fun just that we've all kind of spread out.
Very cool.
I have the least experience of anybody here. I've just always loved dancing. I loved playing in a really large high school marching band. And I heard Samba Tucada when I would run a leg of the marathon out on the Beltline and loved it. And so 3 years ago I showed up, and I'm just lucky these guys let me play with them.
And Ellen was a drummer
We're lucky
in
she
past
plays
life.
with us.
So I started listening to Brazilian music in the late 60s and early 70s, and actually my desire to drum started when I was 6 years old. My parents wouldn't let me have a drum set. And many years later, many years later, I reached ripe old middle age, and I said, if I don't start doing this soon, I'm never going to do this. And so I did. I met Keith. Bruce and I have known each other for years. Played with Keith in local dance class, led by, with Bruce also, led by Carla Kevorkian, one of our former members, doing Afro-Haitian, Afro-Cuban dance. Studied with Stuart Payton for 10 years. When I first started studying with Stuart, it was about 25 years ago. The band had just barely started forming, Samba Tucada, the large band. And I love Brazilian music, and I love the rhythms. So, that's history.
Yeah. Let's see. Similar story. I played a piano when I was a kid, but then about 6 years ago, I was living in Seattle, and I heard that local community band called Vamala, and I got hooked. I heard them at a parade in an expanded form, and just couldn't get over the sound. So I showed up to the first rehearsal looking to listen, and they wouldn't let me just listen.
They pulled you in.
So I was a fairly new mother at that time, and my daughter has grown up marching in samba
That's awesome.
parades, which exist all over the country. A lot of cities have community bands, and I'm so thankful for that community.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I was in Seattle for the summer of 2011 on an internship, and I actually played with the same group that Amity used to play in.
Wow. Small world.
Yeah, it's a network.
And you're all in Burlington now. I love that.
So this next song that we're gonna play, we learned from our teacher Dudu Fuentes, who was here last July, and I'm going down to play with his group in Rio next week.
Have fun.
Hopefully he'll be back. He tends to come back every year. But this is a piece he put together for Solstice Parade in Seattle.
Very cool.
All right. Ready?
was really good. So I am a drummer in a way. I play a drum set drum, and I sit with a big band of like a bunch of guitarists, and they don't usually tell me what to do. I just kind of sit there and like hold a beat. That's usually my instruction, hold a beat. How do you guys practice and like actually learn all of this stuff? Because I like am dumbfounded watching you guys. How much do you have to practice together to like actually get this down? Every Monday.
And Tuesday.
Yeah.
Sometimes on Sundays.
Yeah, that's part of the reason we got started is Amity in particular was used to rehearsing 2 nights a week. So we had another night a week that we wanted to rehearse, and we had all this energy, so we turned into putting together our own
awesome.
of tunes that we learned from our teachers, and some from the West Coast, some from the East Coast, some from Brazil directly, and mashed them all together and made it our own.
Really awesome. And how long have you guys been a band, this little project?
About a year.
About a year? You really good, yeah. That's like
It's been a great year.
yeah.
And this is our second gig.
Second one. Whoa, what was the first one?
At
Sweet
Sweet
Melissa's.
Melissa's, we did a little
Variety.
guerrilla performance in a variety show.
It's a variety show
Yeah.
organized by Brass Polygon.
Well, that's so awesome. So what kind of like as a band are you planning on kind of recording anything? What is your kind of goal for this project? Anything in particular? Just having fun.
I want to play out on the bike path this summer,
That-
unscheduled, and surprise everyone. Because I love like the street aspect of this music, and yeah, so that's my
Yeah.
goal. But we've
Flash mob. and-
talked about smaller venues, not as large community events like Samba Tucata does, but more small scale. I don't know, truck stops or
You can finish on a smaller stage.
night.
Yeah, you guys, it's not as huge of a presence. I like.
Who do you call? Yeah.
Who do you call?
If there's a truck stop out there that wants you to come play, who would they call?
Oh, well, we have a Facebook page.
Yeah.
You can contact us that way. There's an email address, blocomv@gmail.com. Yeah. So either any of us, no, I will pick that up. I will pick that up.
Amity doubles as our
AMITY.
graphic designer and social media coordinator.
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys are-
Woman of many talents. I love it.
are both great.
Awesome. Do you have another song for me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Sure. We got
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Go for it. Yeah. Awesome. What was the name of that song?
We call that beam boom.
Da,
It's
da, da.
onomatopoeia. I don't know if you heard the
Yes, the
shoo part.
boom boom. Yes. Yes. I love that. And you have one more?
We never expected anybody else to actually ask us what the name of the song
Really?
was. So,
Yeah, no,
you
it's
should ask us the next one because it's a little bit ridiculous. But
awesome.
okay.
You got over there.
What's the name of your next piece?
Oh, I was gonna ask at the end.
Olodumvius. That is thanks to Jacob Flanagan over there.
No,
That was your
I don't
suggestion.
think so.
Totally your suggestion.
No, probably.
Yeah, it's all my fault.
But so Olodum is another group from northeast Brazil, from Salvador, and they were very famous for popularizing the style, the genre of samba reggae. And you might recognize them if you ever listen to Paul Simon, Rhythm of the Saints. You might recognize from the beginning of what we're playing because it's directly taken from there, and then we've added some other their new material towards the end of it to kind of make a Olodum mashup.
Very cool. Very excited to hear this.
Shout out to my buddy Fritz in Arcata because he's the one that taught me the end of this. Fritz.
Awesome. So thank you guys so much for coming on tonight. Can you tell me any upcoming shows or anything you know of where people can find you? We went over your Facebook and everything, but
Whatever you invite us to.
yeah. So call them, invite them to things. They're so fun.
Wide open. Lots of availability.
Bike path is still a little cold, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a little cold right now. I think in the spring we'll be hearing a lot more, I hope.
You just never know.
Thank you for
But-
inviting us tonight.
Of
We
course.
appreciate it. Too.
Yeah, I had a great time. So that was Montanha Verde. Oh, thank you for coming on tonight, everybody. So this has been Rocket Shop on 105.9 FM, The Radiator, WOMMLP Burlington. I have been your host, Genevieve Rossi. Tune in next week to listen to our guests Sarah King and Marxist Jargon.